Welcome to the NBA Pub Hub, Pub Sports Radio, Friday, December 10th. Ian Cameron, Dutch Boy Fresh, Trot Wham, ready to break down the Friday NBA card. It is a big slate. Lots of games, as always, on a Friday. We've got 9 tonight. Let's start with Sacramento taking on Charlotte. We've got Sacramento here, 1.5 point road favorites, 230 the total, up to 231. The over's been hit, and I fully 100%, 1,000% agree with the over in this game. I don't trust either team defensively at the moment. How can you? We just saw Sacramento in a 142-130 shootout with Orlando. We know with Alvin Gentry on the sideline as the coach, they're going to play fast. They're not really going to play great defense because that's been the MO of his teams over the years. And on the flip side, you look at Charlotte. They've gone over the total 6 of their last 7 games. They haven't been playing the best defense during this stretch. Their defensive rating has gone in the toilet. The last 5 or 6 games, they've given up 127 or more in 5 of their last 6 games to Houston, Chicago, Milwaukee, Atlanta, and Philly. So they've got some issues defensively. You're going to get pace. I totally agree with the total going up. It's high. We haven't seen as many 230s with totals this year, but this one's warranted. In my mind, I would look over the total in this game. When you look at this Charlotte team, very much banged up, though. P.J. Washington, game-time decision. LaMelo Ball out. Jalen McDaniels out. Mason Plumlee out. Terry Rozier out. Ish Smith. Very, very banged-up team here. Rashawn Holmes is out for Sacramento. Believe it or not, I think Sacramento's a little bit healthier. They've won 3 in a row. They've covered 3 in a row. I like Sacramento a little bit here. I mean, there are just too many injuries for Charlotte to trust them in this game. So for me, it would be Sacramento as the small road favorite and the over in this game. Dutch, we'll start with you. What do you think here, Sacktown, Charlotte?
Yeah, man. Salute to the ladies, gents, and D-gents for tuning in. You already know it's all love. Hit the motherfucking like button like I just hit that plane. LA Kush Cake. Get you right where you need to be. Yeah, man. Hey, real talk. Treat that motherfucking like button like LBJ and smack that motherfucker, man.
Smack that motherfucker, man.
Hey, bitch, smack that motherfucker one time. Yeah, real quick, like. Shout out to Curtis Berry, THC Riz, everybody in the chat. Much love. I pretty much second everything you say, to be honest with you, Ian. I didn't bet this bitch, though, so back with this motherfucker real quick, like.
All right, backwood time. That's always a good thing, the backwood. We're friends with the backwood when it's a busy play. Can't bet all these games or have strong opinions on them.
Yeah, and if I hurt anybody's feelings, I don't give a fuck, So, backwood, I'll backwood as many times as I feel.
We're trying to be picked. We're trying to pick our spots here on a card like this, especially now.
I got 4 plays.
It's not early in the season where, I find the later you get in the season, you got to pick your spots more. It's situational, it's injuries, it's matchups. And you find you got to pick your spots a little bit more the later you get into the NBA season. All right, Wham, what do you like?
Yeah, so I actually did bet in this game. I do have a bet in this game that I already slid on. I do like the Kings, though. I think that may be my next bet in this game. I do like the Kings as well. Also, that over. I think it's going to be points to this game, so I do like props. If I do like props, I'm going to find the guy that's giving us the most value. And I believe Tyrese Halliburton is that guy. Now, over the last few games, he's been getting a little bit uptick in actual attempts. 10 attempts, 13, 14, and 9 over the last games. He has 18 points over his last 2 games, 12 points in his third game against the Clippers where he had 40 minutes. Now, in that game, he had 9 attempts from 3. That's what I want to see. I want to see the attempts from 3 from these young players. So I do like Tyrese Halliburton points, though. But I think he's going to get 15 points. He's probably going to get that many attempts from 3 again in this game. It's going to be a lot of points thrown around. I like Tyrese Halliburton over 14.5 points. You can get that right now at plus 132.
All right, good stuff there. We got Skee Profit with us. Skee took the plunge with Sacramento in their last game against Orlando and was rewarded for it. And now I'm looking to take the plunge with Sacramento. So good timing for Skee to join us here. You go back to the well with the Kings tonight against this banged-up Charlotte team. Skee, what do you think?
Yeah, another reason, just kind of like I like the Kings last game. That was their, I think, second game in 7 days, and now it's their third game in 9 days. Just really wanted to play on these well-rested teams, especially versus a Hornets team who's depleted. Like, no starting point guard, no backup point guard. They're missing Rozier too, Plumlee, McDaniels. It's just too much out. And I think PJ is out too, or he was doubtful. So it's too much out for them versus a well-rested team who's covered 5 of their last 7 games. So it'll be Sacramento for me.
Yeah, P.J. Washington is doubtful for Charlotte. So, yeah, it's just too much artillery and manpower missing for Charlotte right now. Dallas and Indiana. Indiana 2-point home favorites, 213 being the total in this game. The Pacers were just sort of waiting to see, is there a run in this basketball team to get, on a little bit of a roll? Well, you got to start somewhere, and it's been 2 straight wins for them against Washington and New York. They've actually had a lot of their games spaced out as well. Not as many games played for them lately. Not the case for Dallas. This will be their 3rd game in 4 days, so you're a little bit concerned about that. Skee's talking about rest situations. You'd think it's advantage Indiana here, and I do lean Indiana here. I just don't trust Dallas. Now, you could say we haven't trusted Indiana much this year, but they've at least won 2 in a row. They're at home, no travel. Dallas is just too up and down for me, to be honest with you. I mean, they beat Memphis last game, big deal. It was a bad spot for Memphis. Before that, they lost 3 in a row, including one to the Pelicans, which was a brutal loss. So it's Indiana or nothing for me. Skee, Dallas, Indiana.
I don't want Dallas. They haven't looked good. Luka is out of shape. And I think they've covered 2 of their last 7. Like you mentioned, they've been playing a lot of games lately on the Dallas side. And for Indiana, they got the trade rumors going on with a lot of guys on the roster. Maybe some of them want to show out, increase their value. You hear guys like Turner saying he wants a bigger role. Maybe he's going to come out here and show it. So if I'm playing this one, the way I'm thinking right now, I think Pacers probably continue to have an advantage on the boards. They've been playing better offensively and more rested team, in my opinion. So Pacers or nothing.
Yeah, this is a game where he goes Sabonis for sure. He's going to eat. He's going to do his thing tonight for the Indiana Pacers. Again, we talk about picking on the Dallas front court. We pick on it for a reason. I think they're definitely – Sabonis going to have a big night, double-double, over points, rebounds, whatever you can find on him is a good way to go. I think Duarte for Indiana as well. Great game from him last time out. Some good props to look at for the Pacers tonight in this game against the Mavericks. What do you think, Dutch? Mavs and Pacers?
Yeah, shout out to our guy, the Hook, Ness Bets, Banana Grapes. Star Child, I seen you with the Memphis pick last night. Good shit, bro. Yeah, man. This to me, it's tough. It's tough. So I'll just this is like a sweaty butcher backwood. It's exotic as a motherfucker. Yeah, man. Backwood this bitch.
There it is. It's a little exotic backwoods action.
It's exotic as a motherfucker. I'll tell you that. Because I mean, it's a good game.
Yeah, no, it is. It's interesting one. And you're right. Dallas have had their issues lately. Pacers 2 in a row. You just sometimes when you think the Pacers are turning a corner and then they just hit a speed bump. But I think tonight they could really take care. I think they own the matchup advantages. And again, they've played fewer games in the last week to 10 days than Dallas, who've had a rigorous schedule. What do you think, Wham? Dallas, Indiana?
Yeah, in this spot, I'm kind of torn. I think I like Dallas in this spot. I think they can find a way to bounce back against this team. Like you said, Ski, they could be, trying to be all about themselves rather than the team. They could figure it out in this spot, I believe. But at this point, this is a backwood to me. It's too many games. It's a lot of action to get money on. So I'm going to stay away. It's a backwood.
There it is. All right, go to Brooklyn and Atlanta. This is an interesting game now. Next up here, Nets and Hawks. We've got the Atlanta Hawks 2-point home favorites here. This total's gone up 224 to 227 pretty much across the board. We've talked about how the Hawks at home not quite as good as they were earlier this year. They've started to actually lose a few games on their home floor of late, back-to-back. 3 straight, in fact, at home they've lost to the Knicks, to the Sixers, and to the Hornets. So all of a sudden, the Hawks looking a little bit beatable, not invincible all of a sudden in the house here on their home floor. They're coming off a nice win against Minnesota, 121-110. We'll see if they can carry that over to this game. But to me, when I look at it for Brooklyn, they're off a 114-104 loss to Houston. Remember, no Kevin Durant. He sat that night. Kind of could see that coming, that it was a Houston spot. We talked about it, right, on Wednesday. It was a clear Houston spot. We didn't really trust Brooklyn. There was a reason the money came in on Houston in that game, and sure enough, the Rockets get the win. But now Brooklyn looking to bounce back. They're usually a pretty good bounce-back team. They haven't dropped 2 in a row all year. I usually like betting Brooklyn in these kind of spots. Kevin Durant obviously is back tonight. He had the 1-game absence. He's playing. He's on the floor tonight for this Brooklyn team taking on the Atlanta Hawks. I'm a little bit surprised people like Atlanta. I know Atlanta, we respect them at home. I get that. But you're still talking about Bogdanovich and Hunter out. Reddish is a game-time decision. Just they haven't played as well at home lately. We've seen the likes of the Knicks beat them there on their home floor lately, which isn't a good sign. Charlotte as well beat Atlanta at home. when Atlanta was laying 7.5 in that game. I don't understand why Atlanta's had the uptick in the number here. I would look Brooklyn here in a bounce back, a team that hasn't dropped 2 in a row yet this year. Skee, what do you think? Nets, Hawks?
Well, I mean, both teams are 7-3 straight up their last 10 games. So I think both teams are playing all right. And as far as it's the same kind of idea I've been having all season. Third game in 4 nights for Brooklyn. Yeah, KD got some rest, and I would want some of those wing players in for Atlanta. But Atlanta's coming off 3 days rest, and they're at the house. So, I mean, those two things, I want to play on Atlanta. I looked up just a situation that they're in, and I'll share it with you guys. Is teams off 3 days rest off a win versus a team with 1 day rest off a loss. 64.2% straight up and 2-0 straight up this year. I'll take Atlanta, the more rested home team.
That's pretty damn good. That's 64% over a long sample size is something to factor in here. So we'll have to wait and see. Although the counter arguments, Brooklyn hasn't dropped 2 in a row yet this year, and that's something they're looking to avoid. So that's a fascinating game, this one. It could make a good case, I think, for both sides in this one. What do you think, Dutch? Brooklyn, Atlanta?
Yeah, shout out to our guy Chiefs. I see you, bro. Yeah, and another counter argument would be that 2 of the best players on the Nets didn't even fucking play, so they're well rested as well with KD and LaMarcus Aldridge. So I mean, the rest factor is what it is. DeAndre Hunter lit these motherfuckers up last time they played. I believe it was the 3rd of November. He's not in the lineup no more. Bogdanovich isn't in the lineup no more. And I think the money's coming in on Atlanta because I think James Harden might be a late scratch. He was being a little bitch talking about. Shout out to our guy Turnsy. I see you, my dude. He's being a little bitch talking about, I might need a rest. After you lose to the Houston Rockets, you'll come out and say, I'm tired. I might need a rest. What superstar says
Atlanta,
that?
baby?
I mean, hey, but what do you say, William?
We're going to Atlanta, make it rain, bro. I'm trying to get a vacation day. Let me get a vacation day, get to strip club.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, you see when I want that motherfucker to sit because really, I think they'll be better from a defensive perspective if he sits. Run the offense through KD, obviously, LaMarcus Aldridge and Patty Mills. But if James Harden sits or plays, either way, I like the Nets here. I prefer him to sit, get a better number as well. And, what it comes down to is, they have to fucking stop Trae Young from penetrating to the hole and obviously make him become more of a jump shooter. That's really what it is. I would like them to start Bruce Brown at the 2 and lock that motherfucker down. I want to see Carter off the bench. I want to see him fucking swarming Trae Young. Use these guys. You went out and got these guys, Steve Nash. Use them for this fucking situation because they're perfect matchups against Trae Young. I don't want to see Patty Mills and James Harden in the starting backcourt. It just doesn't work out that way. You don't need that type of offense. Bring Patty off the bench, but I'd really like to see Patty and Bruce Brown in the backcourt tonight. So hopefully James Harden, since he's crying like a little bitch about the rest, he'll get that, and we'll get a better defensive effort backcourt there, I believe, from the Nets. But either way, the Hawks are missing too much. The Hawks are 0-4 ATS last 4 at the house. 0-6 ATS versus a team with the winning percentage 60% or better. 1-6 straight up in the last 7 meetings, versus the Brooklyn Nets. And you touched on an awful loss. They have not lost back-to-back Brooklyn. Before this game against Dallas, their average margin of win was 11.8. Went down a little bit because they only, beat Dallas by 3. But they are 6-1. They're 6-1 in the last 7 straight up on the road. 15-5 straight up in their last 20, 11-2 straight up in the last 13 versus Atlanta. With James Harden, without that motherfucker, Brooklyn, baby. Yeah, man.
There you go. Liking Brooklyn. The over's taking money. I kind of agree. Both teams, especially Atlanta. Atlanta's defense has kind of gone backward. Brooklyn hasn't been necessarily locking it down as well lately either. So I understand the move up in the total too with the over getting bet in this game.
And if you want a prop,
well.
yeah, KD 30+ tonight. I'm not going to the window, but he gonna get off tonight. Well rested, as Skee would say.
Yeah, should have the shooting leg. So it's those killer Brooklyn stats of Dutch and those really good stats that Skee mentioned with supporting Atlanta. So something's got to give. That's why it's fascinating. Wham! What do you think?
Let me get that double maker, Skee.
That double maker, son.
Yeah, man, I'm thirsty as a motherfucker. And it's Friday.
So the way I'm looking here, I'm backing with my guy Skee here, man. I think the Hawks probably are going to be able to shoot better in this game. They're giving up 27th 27th in the league in giving up 3-point makes in the Brooklyn Nets. They're teams that's going against, though, they're shooting 29%, but it's different when you get this Atlanta team at the house being able to shoot in their own gym. They shoot a little bit better, I think, and they averaging top 5 in 3-point makes in that last 5 games. Atlanta is. I think they're going to be able to score here. So if I think they're going to be able to score, I think they're going to cover here. So I kind of do like the Hawks, and I kind of hope that Ian would have liked the Hawks. That way we could hear the Hawk call, but I guess it's a little split here. We a little split on the halfway here.
Nope.
Maybe we'll hear it on Monday after the Hawks win.
Yeah, maybe we will. Maybe we'll do a hot call. I only bet to make the hot call when I'm
Don't
on
hold your breath, motherfuckers.
when I'm betting Atlanta here. No, it's a little Jay-Z for tonight. Brooklyn, we go hard. We go hard. There you go.
Real quick, Let's Go said he's a bad capper, but he's a good teller. You know, that's a thing. You cap the cappers. You know,
Yeah.
that's a thing right there. So
yeah,
keep doing what works for you.
That's right. If it's capping the cappers or capping your own games, or as long as you're not capping in your own leg, you're doing something right there. That's good. That's all that matters. You just
just hit the motherfucking like button in the process. You all the way nice.
Yeah, that's right. That's the capping that works. Cap the cappers and cap your own games. That's what you want to do. New York and Toronto. Toronto, we've got 1.5 point home favorites. The Raptors, 207.5 the total. I really don't have a whole lot on this game. These are two maddeningly, frustratingly inconsistent basketball teams. They really are, both of them. At this point in time, you're looking at a situation where, the Raptors have been really disappointing on their home floor, 4-9 straight up, 3-10 ATS at the Scotiabank Arena. That's not very good. In fact, the Knicks have actually been a little bit better on the road. I guess I'd lean to the New York Knicks a little bit in this game, but they're not playing well. They're 1-4 in their last 5 games. The Raptors, of course, have struggled. They're also just 2-4 in their last 6. They had a very poor second half against the Thunder and lost outright as favorites to them the other night. They're still without OG Anunoby. They're down a couple of key front court players as well. Kem Birch and Precious Achiuwa, both of them may not be in tonight for the Raptors. So that could be some trouble down low in the paint area when you look at maybe having to deal with Randall in this game tonight. Could be a Randall prop night for the New York Knicks. I lean Knicks, but other than that, backwood. I'm not getting involved in this game. Skee, what do you think? Knicks, Raptors.
Yeah, I'm going to just, again, default. It's the Knicks' 3rd game in 4 nights. The Raptors, I do want OG in there, but it's their 2nd game in 5 days. And they're at the house. I just think that plays a big advantage. And if I have to pick who's going to win, I don't think either one of these teams are really good. I'll pick the more rested home team.
All right, liking the Raptors a little bit. Wins have been hard to come by at the house at home for the Raptors, Skee. So I hope tonight's one of those nights for you. What do you think, Dutch? Knicks and Raptors.
Yeah, shout out to my guy Jay Peasy. I see you, my dude. Yeah, man, this is straight motherfucking backwood. Easy. You got to pay. This is one of those. You got to pay me to bet this motherfucker.
Yeah, and that ain't happening. So there you go. Easy backwood decision. How about you, Wham?
Well, it might pay you to back your boy Scotty Barnes, bro. Don't be scared, man. Don't be scared of it. Don't be scared of it. Scotty Barnes hit over his 1.5 3-point makes 4 out of his last 5 games. Fell off of it. Only had 2 attempts in that game. He had a tough defensive assignment. Got back to it again in the last game. I think he's going to get to that 9 attempts from 3. So we're going to go over 1.5 3-point makes at plus 120. And we're going to take the over 2.5 at plus 410. You know what I'm saying? Sprinkle a little bit of that something on there. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't scared out there, but that's what we're doing. We ain't backwooding it. We're gonna take Scotty Barnes. Take it to the bank, bro.
All right, next up, we got Cleveland and Minnesota. Cleveland is 1.5 point road favorites, 213 the total. And in my analysis, the bet for me in this game is one word: Cleveland. That's all I got. That's all I got. I don't need to say anything more. Cleveland, we've been singing their praises for weeks now. They've been a point spread machine. All they do is put money in your pocket every single game. Minnesota's lost 4 in a row. No D'Angelo Russell tonight for the Timberwolves either. There's nothing else to say. Cleveland's just been a cash cow for me. I've been backing them almost every night, and we're going to keep riding it. Cavaliers for me. What do you think here, Skee? Cleveland, Minnesota.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like they've won, or they haven't won, but they've covered 9 in a row. They've been a top 10 offensive rated, defensive rated, rebounding team over the last 5 games. And, Minnesota, I just haven't really been liking what I'm seeing lately. They covered, one of their last 5 games. Russell's probably not going to play in this one. And when Russell's been out, we've seen the Timberwolves not look as good. So, And, I don't think Karl Anthony Towns is going to have a good day going up against Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. So I like Cleveland again.
I agree. I mean, it's not even a game where Karl Anthony Towns is going to have room to maneuver down there. They throw Mobley at him, Allen in there. Markkanen won't back down from anybody. I mean, there's a lot of tall trees that can swing down there with Karl Anthony Towns. So, now no D'Angelo Russell, so you're missing some of that firepower. You're going to have Anthony Edwards carrying the day for you. And it could be a one-man show offensively tonight for Minnesota, and that could be trouble against Cleveland, who've stepped it up defensively too during this great run. What do you think, Dutch? Cavs, Timberwolves.
Yeah, shout out to our guy Viper. Shout out to Tony on the birthday cake. I like him, my guy. I dig it. Yeah, man, I'm all over the Cavs. I wrote this shit down, so I'm gonna say it. The 8-0-1 ATS in the last 9 on the road. 5-2 ATS last 7 meetings in Minnesota. And I agree with pretty much everything you and Skee said. I just second it. The Wolves 1-4 straight up last 5. They are 0-4 ATS at the last in their last 5 at the house after a double-digit win. So that tells me, that's the one thing you can say to Minnesota. Oh, do you think they're going to bounce back after their ass whooping? Well, the numbers say they haven't. Double-digit loss, they come right back and get their ass whooped again. 4-game losing streak. They've allowed 120 points per game. Doesn't suit well considering the Cavaliers have been kind of hitting on all cylinders. Scored 110 plus for the last 6 games. Clear Cavaliers spot here. Jared Allen, Mobley, Garland, they all should eat tonight.
I think points and rebounds for Mobley. I'm interested in that prop tonight. Wham, what do you think? Cleveland, Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm taking 3 plays in this game. I do like the Cavs. I like everything you guys are saying. Why is it? It's not broke, don't fix it. And plus, you're getting another team here that, like you said, they kind of got some injuries here. They haven't been, very consistent. And then they actually got a little issue here. Well, maybe not that much of an issue, but the Ant-Man is coming out, not holding his tongue, telling everyone he wants Cat to be more like Embiid and shit. And I don't know if that's going to rub my guy the wrong way. He didn't seem like he's that type of person that's going to hold it on his sleeve and, cry about it. But he kind of could force himself that way, especially if he's struggling against the long athletic Jared Allen or Evan Mobley, like my guy Skee said. So I like the Cavs here. I like them early and often. I took the first half at a pick 'em. Then I took the full game at -1.5. And then I also took Darius Garland to have a double-double at +300. I think he gets to 10 assists in this game. Should be something that's not that hard for him to get to. Ricky Rubio as well probably have a good game as well in this game. But I did take Darius Garland double-double at +300.
Yeah, Rubio back to Minnesota. Yeah, man. I like that.
I like the price on that. Yeah, +300. That's bargain bin shopping right there. That's looking for a little discount here for Wham with that one. Darius Garland double-double. Love that number there, +300 in that game.
What do you guys think about I'm sorry, Ian.
No, go ahead.
I'm sorry, bro.
Go ahead.
What do you think about Okoro versus you think he's gonna guard Edwards? How do you think that matchup's gonna go?
That's interesting. I think Edwards probably cooking anybody they throw in front of him. It's just that the second level defense, you already know behind there, bro. So, he going to get blocked a couple of times for sure with those guys, man. I expect those guys to go up on defense. So that's how I'm thinking. I don't know about anybody else.
Edwards and Towns can get theirs. I still think they lose, man. That's really all they got.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. And Towns, I don't think is going to have a big night offensively. I think it's going to be a situation where he's going to struggle a little bit more with the size down low, and that means it's going to put even more pressure on Edwards to get it done for Minnesota. Look, unless you get Jared Vanderbilt having a big night for you in that starting 5. I mean, Pat Beverly's probably going to play, but you don't always get offense from him. So that's why I think actually this could be one of those games where let's see what the total is. Yeah, it could be an under, because I like the way Cleveland's been defending lately, but I'm just going to stick with the total with the side here with Cleveland. And again, maybe Mobley over points and rebounds as well in this game. All right, Milwaukee, Houston. We got Milwaukee 9-point road favorites, 227 being the total in this game. Are we fearing the deer tonight? That ends up being the question. Milwaukee is coming off a 113-104 loss to the Miami Heat. Pretty shocking. In fact, the other night, that loss to the Heat, with the Heat, without Jimmy Butler in that game, without Bam Adebayo, and still able to overcome the Milwaukee Bucks, who had a nice start in that game, but they could not sustain it in the second half. So you got the Bucks looking to bounce back here against the Houston Rockets. We'll give Houston some credit. The last little bit, they have been pretty good against the number, 7-2 run against the spread for Houston of all teams in the last 9 games. So they have started to become an undervalued commodity and cash some tickets. We saw them take care of business the other night against the who was it? Brooklyn. That's right, on the second night of back-to-back. Still, they got some injuries, though. Jalen Green, Daniel House, KPJ, as Skee has alluded to, is the bigger one, thigh injury, and he's already been ruled out. Kevin Porter for the Rockets tonight in this game against the Bucks. I'm going to stay off the game. Like, I don't really want to go against the 7-2 ATS surge for Houston. They've clearly been undervalued the last 9 games. But am I rushing to fade Milwaukee after they got slaughtered in the second half by Miami? Shorthanded Miami the other night? Probably not. I don't think they were too thrilled with the way they played it toward the end of that game. And you would think you're going to get focus here from the Milwaukee Bucks tonight in this game. So it wouldn't surprise me if they covered, but I'm going to stay off this game entirely. What do you think, Skee, Bucks and Rockets?
Houston has been playing really well and they're pretty rested, but with the guys out of the lineup, I can't get there to back them. I don't really see anybody stopping. And, maybe Giannis is not going to play here. He's game time decision, right? Maybe we see him sit, but if everybody goes for Milwaukee, I think you take them in the first half. They're the best first half team as far as margin goes. And I just think it's time to fade this Rockets team.
Yeah, you know what? He's probable, but I've seen this story before with Giannis earlier this year where he was probable and then he does shoot around 30 minutes before the game and he says like, nah, you know what? I'm going to sit out tonight, or nah, you know what? We're going to rest him tonight. And he doesn't play. So be careful with this little probable, on the injury report right now for Giannis Antetokounmpo, because I've seen this before this year where it looks like he's going to play. All the injury reports have him as probable, and then he takes the shoot around and next thing you know, he's out. So be careful. This is going to be something you want to maybe look at right close to a tip-off before this game starts. Dutch, how about you here, Milwaukee, Houston?
Nah, man, you don't got to worry about that shit. Giannis will be out there, guarantee it. He had one of his worst games probably of the season, 15 points, minus 11 on the court. Just didn't play well. No, the whole fucking roster didn't play well. Giannis will be out there tonight. This is a clear spot play for me. Houston, they put it all in the bag to shut up James Harden. I told you it was going to happen. It happened. This is a clear face spot of Houston right here. I believe they'll, Skee touched on how, profitable, the Bucks and how well they play in the first half. So I did lock in the first half minus 4.5. I'm not scared of the full game either, but the first half just seems like easy money to me. But I believe by the third, fourth quarter, it'll be a double-digit lead. The Bucks are 2-0. First half ATS in the last 2 off a loss. Average margin is 14 points, so they come out ready to rock and roll. And I just believe, it's a bad matchup for Houston. But Houston's missing some cats, and I'm telling you, they just put it all in. That's a huge win. It's almost kind of like the football game last night, the way we captured. This is the same exact spot for me. You lose to a putrid team, to Houston, to Miami without the whole fucking cast. That's a game that you should have won. Now you're like, okay, you're kind of looking in the mirror like, let's fucking go. And you got Houston on the other hand feeling themselves after they just beat the fucking Brooklyn Nets and put it on their James Harden, who left them for dead. So I really like Milwaukee here. Minus 4.5 is good motherfucking money.
There you go. That's Milwaukee minus 4.5, minus 5 in the first half. And what Dutch is alluding to is that, tonight the Milwaukee Bucks are the Minnesota Vikings, and tonight the Houston Rockets are the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's exactly it. We're talking about Houston coming off a satisfying win against the guy they used to play with, James Harden. A letdown spot for them, just like Pittsburgh. They beat Baltimore Ravens, big divisional win, and they just had nothing early in that game. Minnesota did everything they could to throw it away, but even they couldn't do that last night, and vice versa. Minnesota Vikings shamed, embarrassed, losing to Detroit. I think Milwaukee's kind of feeling that way, losing to a shorthanded Miami team and getting blown out in the second half. So very, very similar to what we saw in the NFL last night from a spot perspective.
They're going to kill them on the boards, Ian, and I see Houston having about 20 turnovers in this game.
Yeah. It's wow. And it's certainly, if they're going to, that's going to happen. Milwaukee is lethal in transition, so that could be trouble. Wham, what do you think? Bucks, Rockets?
Yeah, man, that Houston team is not turning over the ball without KPJ, bro. I don't know. They slowing. They're pretty good. I mean, honestly, this Rockets team, and they've shown that they are up for the challenge, at least for what they've said in the media, as far as with Christian Wood and other guys to beat writers and things of that nature. I'm kind of keying in on a prop here that I like the most. It's Eric Gordon to have over 19.5 points. Now he's hit 4 out of the last 6 games, 20 plus points. He's not passing the ball. He's KPJ's replacement. He's not passing the ball. He's going straight to the rim. He's going for himself, looking for himself shots. I like that he's getting 12 plus attempts over the last four straight games. I like Eric Gordon to get 20 points again in this game. I kind of do lean towards the Rockets, but I'm not going to bet the Rockets. I like the I'm not sure if Giannis is going to play like Bano said. That's kind of a trend that I've been paying attention to as well. Like it's kind of like weird to throw him on the injury report in this spot, and they should be off, right? But here it is again. I like the Bobby Portis double-double. I got that from a friend of mine. Double-double Bobby Portis seems like it's a good hit. It hits 3 of the last 4 times with Giannis in the lineup. If Giannis is not there, you can almost guarantee it. So I like Bobby Portis plus 160 double-double.
All right, there you go. Bobby Portis.
Real
Bobby
quick.
P plus 160.
Yeah, real quick, Ian. When you look at Houston, I know they won 7 in a row, and it was an impressive win that started against Chicago. That one was impressive. But the last 6 after that, I mean, look at who they beat. OKC, Orlando, Pelicans, and Brooklyn without KD and Aldridge. You know, I'm not sold on the Rockets. And I still don't see no point guard out there.
No, that's true. That is still.
That's why you take Eric Gordon points.
Yeah, I like the prop. I just don't like any team that don't have a point guard.
Yeah, that's the issue right now going into tonight for Houston. We got issues for the Lakers, right? We think they're turning it around. They lose to Memphis, and now they're in OKC tonight against the Thunder. Lakers 4.5 point road favorites, 218 the total. Yeah, I am on OKC here. I wish I had maybe gotten a few more points than 4.5. It feels like it's not a lot, but you can't deny the Thunder have a hex over the Lakers. That's what it is at this point. I mean, the Lakers have had problems with this team. It's been repeated. 4-0 ATS, the last 4 meetings for the Thunder, head-to-head against the Los Angeles Lakers, including back-to-back wins, October and November earlier this year, 1 in OKC and then 1 in Staples. OKC won that game as well. The Thunder are healthy now, finally. SGA is there, Dort, everybody, Giddy, Beasley, you name it. Everybody's healthy now for the Thunder in this one. And you got the Lakers, you know, old creaking bones of theirs on the back-to-back situation here going into this game. That's not necessarily good news by any stretch of the imagination after the 108-95 loss last night to Memphis in that game. I think you just got to take point. I wish I had maybe gotten a few more than this. I think it's going to be close to the number, but I'm going to take OKC in this spot plus points. Lakers on a back-to-back. Thunder have just made life miserable for the Lakers. Just a matchup the Lakers have had a tough time with against this OKC team. So we'll go Thunder here, plus 4.5. Skee, Lakers, and Thunder.
You can't win, you know, when you're playing 4-on-5 or, you know, guys are not switching, rotating, closing out, you know. When you're not getting effort, you can't win games. So I'm not taking the Lakers. It'll be OKC or nothing.
Yeah, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was a great. I wouldn't argue with that at all. Felix and Ray Charles, people liking Shai Gilgeous-Alexander prop again tonight. Keep riding it. You know, I took it more the other game because he was playing, you know, in his home country, close to home. He knew he'd be fired up against the Raptors, and he put 26 points on the board. But he had 30 before that in his return from injury against Memphis, or Detroit, rather. So that's 30 and 26 for SGA in 2 games. So I say just keep riding the prop. I agree with that. SGA over points tonight. Dutch, Lakers, Thunder.
Yeah, man. Shout out to our guy, Lucky Power, Eric Chang, Alfonso. I see you. Yeah, man. I got a salty motherfucking taste when it comes to these LA fakers. I won't touch them. I'm not gonna fade them. I'm not gonna fuck with them. If they're in the game, it's a fucking backwood. The fakers are automatic, auto backwood. Fade them. I don't fuck with them. Nope.
I got it. I'm not shocked you said that. I was thinking to myself just as I was throwing it to you. I'm like, Dutch is gonna backwood the fuck out of this game. The Lakers have got to be pissing him off right off by this point. On him, you can't win. against them, you can't win.
They show the fuck
Yeah.
up, you know.
Yeah.
It's
Like
like
the
I'm
Clipper
done with these
game.
cats.
Like the Boston game, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Timing's just they're not the Clipper game, but the Boston game. Yeah, that's the one that I remember. Yeah, they show up in that one. So yeah, frustrating team. Frustrating team. Nobody knows that better than Skee or this guy here. Wham. Lakers and Thunder. What do you think?
Yeah, man, they let us down, man. So if you see me doing this, I'm trying to slap LeBron to get the fuck on defense, bro. Turn, like, what the fuck you doing? Just standing there letting them blow past you, bro. I think it just sucks because these guys don't have to fear for their job. They're on the NBA. They're on the NBA roster regardless. Without those guys in the lineup, we might have a little bit more competitiveness, a little bit more effort, bro. But man, come on, man. How can I take the Lakers? And I really, honestly, how can I take OKC? They came and almost, lost blowouts against the Lakers in both of those games, end up coming back. I can see the Lakers smashing them, but am I taking this shit? Hell no, man. Fuck the Lakers. Keep slapping LeBron, bro.
Keep slapping him there. There you go. Maybe wake him up, slap him into shape
Something,
now.
man.
To get him playing more consistently night in and night out. Detroit, New Orleans. We've got the Pelicans 6.5 point home favorites here, 211 the total in this one. Nothing. I want no part of either of the. You think I'm laying 6.5 with New Orleans? No. There is just no way that's going to happen. And I'm not taking Detroit. Detroit's just an absolute disaster area right now. What's there to like about Detroit? Right now. I mean, I know they finally covered against Washington the other night, but still lost in overtime. It's been a brutal run for the Pistons. They've had two of the worst records in the NBA all season long. That neither one I trust to win games. I don't want to back either of these teams flat out. So it's a simple backwood for me. Pistons and Pelicans. Skee, Detroit, New Orleans. This is ugly.
Yeah, leave it up there, Big Show. You know what time it is. Backwood.
Yeah, this is ugly.
All the way around. I'm not touching this motherfucker.
Good luck finding reason to
man.
back either of these teams here. New Orleans laying points or Denver at all, to be honest with you. I guess I'd take Denver.
Detroit,
or Detroit rather, not Denver.
Yeah.
Detroit if I
Pelican
had
wins this game, but if you don't lay 6.5, man, you balls, he's a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Bet on Valanciunas. That's it.
That's right.
Yeah, big Val. There you go.
Yeah,
There
I
you
think that
go.
might be where Wham might be going. What do you think, Dutch? Same thing?
Man, you go K points or something. But this backwood, I'm glad you got keep that up. Keep that up there,
keep
man.
it up. This is a 4-way
Keep that up there,
backwood.
bro.
This is historic.
I ain't about to
here.
be the person betting on this shit.
Yeah. This is historic on the NBA pub of a 4-way backwood game. It doesn't happen very often, but we want no part of this freaking dumpster fire that is the Pistons and the Pelicans. We do have a better game, at least to wrap things up here for this Friday card. Boston Celtics, Phoenix Suns. We've got Phoenix 4-point home favorites here in this game. The total 213, 213.5 across the board. I think the price looks a little short now on Phoenix. Now let's see what it's like here from a lineup standpoint going into the game tonight. Booker obviously remains out for the Phoenix Suns, but other than that, it looks like a team that should have most of their other starters available tonight. They have dropped 3 in a row against the spread, Phoenix. The Detroit game in a bad spot in between the two Golden State games. They didn't cover in that one. Of course, they got blown out by the Warriors in the rematch against Golden State. Remember, Phoenix beat Golden State in the first meeting, and then Golden State got him back last Friday. And then on Monday, they ended up playing the San Antonio Spurs, 7.5 point home favorites. They won 108-104 in that one. Talk about, though, rest advantages. I know Skee's big on that. This is 3rd and 4 nights for Boston. It's been a 4-game road trip. This will be the 5th game on the road trip. They're going home to Milwaukee after this. This doesn't look like a Boston spot to me in this game. And like I say, the few times I've backed Boston, I haven't trusted them. I know things have cooled off for those people backing Phoenix. They haven't covered in 3 straight, but they've been off since Monday. They're rested. Boston at the end of this road trip, price is reasonable here, -4 with Phoenix, who are 11-2 straight up on the home floor this year. Yeah, 11-2 straight up at home this year. So Suns -4 for me in this game. Skee, Celtics, Suns.
Yeah, I'm pretty much with you here. 3rd game in 4 nights for Boston. They're 2-5 straight up on the road. They're not going to have Jaylen Brown in this matchup. Dennis Schroeder was also questionable. I'm not sure what happened to him now, but just not looking good for Boston. And on the opposite side, 2nd game, I think, in 7 days for Phoenix. And yeah, they haven't been covering, But Dutch Pepper saying, 4, that's just a little bit more than asking them to win, man. Even without Booker, as much rest as they've had, even if Aiden doesn't play, I mean, we saw them rattle off a lot of wins with McGee in there. I think the Suns are to play in this game.
Yeah, Ayton is questionable, non-COVID illness, so we'll see if he plays. But Schroeder is questionable with the ankle, and Jaylen Brown is confirmed out for Boston tonight. Still, to me, there's still enough for Phoenix to get by, win, and cover in this game. And the rest advantage, 3 full days off. You get a team that hasn't played since Monday on a Friday. That's a rare opportunity to get really some rest in you and be full of energy tonight, and I expect that for Phoenix. What do you think, Dutch? Celtics, Suns?
Yeah, man. I got the Hook liking the Celtics. He got the 5, solid number. T's liking the Suns, and I'd have to agree with him and both of you. I believe this is a short number, and I feel good with Skee with the hoodie. You know what I'm saying? The Suns hoodie. I'm feeling real good. I don't feel as excited though laying it without Ayton out there. That's the only reason. I have 4 best placed already. This is the one I'm waiting on. It's down to 4. I want DeAndre out there. I don't like if you're missing 2 of your 3 top players, to be honest with you. But I believe this is a spot to fade the Celtics, and it was a beautiful thing for the Suns to get that rest, well-needed rest, as they ran off 18 out of 19. And very impressive. They needed that rest, but they're deep. I mean, they got McGee, Shamet, Payne, Cameron Johnson, all these guys coming off the bench. So I would like to keep McGee on the bench and bring his ass off and have DeAndre out there if I'm going to lay the 4. But the Celtics, you guys touched on it. This is the last game of a 5-game road trip. They're 1-3 straight up on this road trip. Their only win is against the Portland Trailblazers without D. Lil. I don't like what I'm seeing from the Celtics. Tatum's playing solid ball, but they got guys in and out of the lineup. They haven't clicked yet, and I believe the Suns, are the best team in the NBA. So I would definitely look for the Suns to handle business at the house.
Yeah, I think and I think there's just a lot of issues this year for the Boston Celtics. I agree with that. They're more talented than a 500 team, but you are what your record says you are. That's the old adage, and they're a mediocre team because they're right on 500. That's probably exactly where the Celtics should be right now. Definitely haven't played the fluid basketball really from the beginning of the season. Wham, Boston and Phoenix.
The craziest thing about this Boston's team, even though they've been having their stars in and out, they're pretty efficient, top 5 in efficiency over the last 5 games, top 5 in offensive rating as well. But the defense is just bad, ranked 23rd in defensive rating over the last 5 games. So I think that this team can be susceptible to the scheduling here and get their ass smacked up, like you guys said, as far as being Phoenix's side here. Even without 8, and I think the line is telling it goes to 5 with him prior to him being added to the injury report as questionable with the illness. Then it just moves to 4, and it stays there, and it's looking like it's creeping back up to 5. So I think that this is just telling that the Suns is probably the spot here. What I did take is something that we've been riding with, man. 6 of the last 8 times. Should get an uptick with Dennis Schroeder out. Going to go Marcus Smart, over 5.5 assists. Why not, man? Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. You already know, Bubano. You know I'm going.
Yeah. Marcus Smart over assists, exactly. And with Schroeder very much questionable with the ankle problem, and there's definitely a chance you won't see him. And obviously usage and obviously facilitating has to go more in the hands of other players, including Marcus Smart for the Boston Celtics. So great stuff. There's the Friday card with Skee, with Dutch, with Wham. Lots of games on tap. We picked hopefully a few that will put some money in your pocket. Great stuff. Another week in the books here on Pub Sports Radio. Of course, we're on Monday to Friday. We will extend this show to the weekends after football season. Like this will be in like February or so, way down the road. But eventually we will go to 7 days a week. We'll give you some NBA during the weekends as we get. And by the way, it'll get more interesting then. It'll be the push for the playoffs by that time of year. Teams will be revving it up, looking to play their best February, March into April. So that's a good time to go 7 days a week with the show. And we'll do that in the new year after football wraps up. Great stuff. And hit the like button, everybody. 246 live viewers. Let's go. Hit that like button. We appreciate it.
Mando.
Andro is Mando. Let's go. Hit that like button. We appreciate it. And thanks for joining us for another week right here on NBA Pub Hub on Pub Sports Radio. Best bets, Dutch's freshest look coming on right after this. All right, Southtown 101. When you're in San Antonio, Texas, stop in. Great food, drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke. Southtown 101. Manscaped, promo code Pub Sports. 20% off your purchase. Lawnmower 4.0, any Manscaped product. Get 20% off using the promo code Pub Sports. And mybookie.ag, promo code Pub Sports. You got all the sports going right now. NFL, college football, NBA, college basketball, NHL, UFC, you name it. It's all taking place right now. Mybookie.ag, sign up for an account. Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit there. Mybookie.ag, promo code Pub Sports. And as you see on the bottom of the screen, get that pub rub. Let's go. It's a great deal. $14.99. That's it. Or you can get 2 for $25. Get a little bargain there for 2 of them for just $25. Check it out, pubsportsradio.com. All right, it is time for Best Bets, Dutch's Freshest Look for this Friday to wrap up the week. Skee, we'll start with you first. What do you like for Best Bet?
I'm going to go to Dutch's favorite team, man, Sacramento Kings. Third game in 9 days off 3 wins versus an opponent with 1 day's rest. It's only happened 16 times since about 1995. 12-4 straight up and against the spread. The average spread was -2. It's around what we're getting today. Give me the Kings.
All right, Sacramento 3-0 straight up and ATS and their last 3 games coming into tonight, and a banged up Charlotte team. God help me, I'm betting Sacramento as well. I mentioned it earlier in the show. I'm on them too. They better get it done. Haven't bet Sacramento in a while. We'll see if they get it done. Skee going with them. Sacramento, best bet against Charlotte tonight. Dutch, freshest look.
You muted, bro. You muted.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, my fault. Freshest look, huh? Freshest look. We're going to Minnesota, and the Cavaliers, they will kill the motherfucking Wolf. Believe it. They're 8-0-1 ATS. Last 9 on the road. Make it 9. Cavaliers -1, 2, whatever you can get. They'll win by 5+.
There you go. -1, Cleveland Cavaliers against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Freshest look for Dutch. Wham,
Yeah,
best bet.
Yeah, come on now. We're going to bring it down to the boogie down. We're going to go to the Boston. I'm sorry, not the Boston, but the Raptors. We're going to go to Scotty Barnes here. I got a few of my like here, but Scotty Barnes is probably my favorite one. Over 1.5 3-point makes. Again, hit 4 of the last 5 times. That time that it didn't happen, he had a defensive assignment he had to get to. No defensive assignment tonight. Just get him chunking. So I do like that over 1.5 3-point makes, Scotty Barnes.
All right, there you go. Scotty Barnes over 3-pointers for Wham with his best bet. Look, it was a collab for the best bets last night. Dutch and I were on the same side for best bet. Now, I'm not trying to make it sound like this was as good a collab as, say, Dre and Snoop or something like that, but it worked out well for everybody. So we were happy with it. And it just so happens we're on the same side again for best bet. Dutch is liking the freshest look on Cleveland, and that's my best bet as well tonight. Cleveland Cavaliers, I'm going to go money line -115. On the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think they get it done against Minnesota. They have been just a meal ticket for me for weeks now betting this team. Minnesota in a little bit of a free fall, and no D'Angelo Russell tonight for them. I think Cleveland gets it done again and picks up the road win. Cleveland -115 against Minnesota for my best bet. And that'll wrap up this edition of the NBA Pub Hub. Another week in the books. We thank everybody for joining us. Hit the like button. Make sure you do that. Reminder, we've got Maxwell Smart, Connor Mack, and Net Profit College Basketball Show coming up at the top of the hour, 5 p.m. Eastern, right here on Pub Sports Radio. And reminder, no college football show in the morning tomorrow. We're off this week, but we are back next Saturday, December the 18th, for our Bull Preview Show. Me, Connor, Big Ragu, and DJ Big Boss. So make sure you join us for that next Saturday, December 18th. We'll go through all the bowl games on the Saturday morning show for college football next week. For Skee Profit, for Dutch Boy Fresh, for Trot Wham, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Friday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. We'll see you again on Monday for another edition and a brand new week of the NBA Pub Hub right here on Pub Sports Radio. Dutch, take us home.
Yeah, man. You know where it's at, Pub Sports Radio. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share the video if you can. You already know we went in and we're coming out with the motherfucking bag. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed. Let's start putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah, man.